Welcome, guys, to one more Thursday night live with Karen. Welcome. Hello, everybody on YouTube. Hello, everybody on Instagram. Hello, Irene. How are you? Let's see. How are you guys doing today? Welcome. So, tonight I'm going to talk about relative clauses. What are relative clauses? O que são essas cláusulas relativas? É basicamente digamos assim, uma explicação do que a gente tá falando, né? Tipo, o fulano que comprou o lote na frente da minha casa é filho de um conhecido do meu pai, por exemplo. Então, o que é essa relativa cláusula? É essa explicação que eu tô dando de o fulano que comprou o lote da minha casa, na frente da minha casa, ou seja, esse fulano que comprou, eu tô especificando, eu tô trazendo uma especificação para essa pessoa. Hello, Mari, long time no see. Então, hello, Patty, good evening. Então, é isso que é relativa à cláusula. E como é que a gente traz isso para o inglês? Como é que a gente indica, né, essas coisas no inglês? How do we do that? By using who, that, and which. Okay, so we all know that these three words, they have their own meanings. For example, who and which are considered the WH questions, right? Miss you too, Mary. Então, who e which, né? Who and which are can be considered WH questions. All right. What does that mean? They are words that we use usually to make a question. If that is é um artigo indicativo, ok? What does that mean? It means that I'm pointing at something that is a picture on the wall, right? That is an owl picture on the wall. So I'm pointing it, I'm showing, I'm directing it. But when we're talking about something, like I was mentioning earlier, and we want to give a reference, we will use who, that, or which to explain this reference. All right? So let me share my screen with my fellow people on YouTube. All right, so here, guys, and let me flip my screen here so that everyone who is with me here on Instagram can take a look as well. Mamãe! Vai lá com o papai, Caterine. Vai lá com o papai.
Eu vou cuidar de você.
Vai, tá. All right. So, guys, look at here. Look at the example sentence here. The woman who lives next door is a doctor. So here I am okay, so here who, what does who means in this case? This is joining the clauses. This is showing me what is the relative clause. Okay, the woman. What woman? What woman is this? The woman who lives next door. I'm explaining who this person is. So this is the relative clause. is a doctor. Então, in this case, all right, in this case, who is means that we are joining the idea. It isn't a question word. It is just explaining. It's just being specific about this person we're talking about. So whenever we have people, all right, we will use, whenever we have a person, like in this case we have a woman, we will use who. Whoops. Ok? So this is who. So, que, né? A mulher que vive na casa vizinha, tá? When we say next door, it means that it's my neighbor, my next door neighbor. Minha casa literalmente ao lado. Okay, is a doctor. She is a doctor. So, a clause is a part of a sentence. A relative clause tells us which person or thing or what kind of person or thing the speaker means. Então, the woman who lives next door. Who lives next door tells us which woman. We're specifying who we're talking about. Okay? People who live in the country. So we are specifying which people we're talking about. So the people who live in China like to eat noodles. Okay? I'm just joking, but so I specified which people like to eat noodles. The Chinese, right? The people who live in China. So who in a relative clause when we're talking about people, okay? The woman, she lives next door. The woman who, right? We know a lot of people, they live in the country. We know a lot of people who live in the country, all right? Here, an architect is someone who designs buildings, all right? So who is it? Who is the architect? Someone who designs buildings. What was the name of the person who phoned? Então, o who in these situations, they can always be replaced by que, all right? Anyone who wants to apply for the job must do so by Friday. So anyone is, well, we're not specifying the person, but we are saying that it is a person. That's why we use who. Okay, guys? Vai pra fora. Excuse me, guys. Vai pra fora, filha.
Não.
Vai pra fora.
Eu vou cuidar de você.
Fica quietinho, então. Sorry, guys, my intruder. She really wants to be part of the live. I'm so sorry. She really does. So you can also use that instead of who. Okay? I like to say that is very neutral. Ai, eu não sei, às vezes eu me confundo tanto com essas cláusulas relativas, eu nunca sei quando eu uso who ou quando eu uso which. In this situation, you can use that, porque that pode ser used in whatever situation. So if you're in doubt, you can use that. So the same sentence we have up here, the woman who lives next door is a doctor, we can use the woman that lives next door is a doctor. All right? Hello, Maicon. Hello, Guilherme. Hello, everybody. Alex, Gilmar. Welcome. So sometimes you must who, okay, not that for people. Okay, there will be times that you can only use who. You cannot replace who for that, right? But that's a talk for another time. Now, when can I use which? Okay, when we are talking about things. So when we talk about things, where am I? When we're talking about things, okay, we use that or which, all right, in a relative clause. So where's the cheese? It was in the fridge. Where is the cheese that was in the fridge, or which was in the fridge? So let's say I bought a very fancy cheese because I'm having some guests over, and my husband, who really likes eating cheese, especially at night, he gets up and he's hungry. He goes in the fridge and he looks, okay, what am I gonna eat? Oh, look at this delicious cheese. And he goes, and takes a bite. And suddenly the cheese is all gone. So where is the cheese which was in the fridge? Oh, I'm sorry, I ate it. Wasn't I supposed to? Okay. So cheese is it. All right, so we can consider cheese it. All right, where is the cheese? It, which was in the fridge. I don't like stories that have unhappy endings. Or I don't like stories which have unhappy endings. Grace works for a company that makes furniture. Grace works for a company which makes furniture. So here you can always use both, all right? So that's what is great about that. Okay? That is more usual. That is more usual. That is more usual than which, but sometimes you must use which. All right, sorry guys. And just remember, relative clauses, we use who, that, which, not he, she, they, or it. All right. Who's that woman? She lives next door. I've never spoken to the woman who lives next door. Not the woman she lives, ok? Então aqui, o que eu quero enfatizar aqui com vocês, o que eles querem dizer com isso? Eles querem dizer o seguinte, que independente da gente ter ali uma coisa, uma pessoa, o que vai acontecer? A gente não vai... Cadê o meu rabisco? Achei. Sorry, guys. Aqui a gente não vai usar not the woman she lives, ok? Who represents quem, né? Eu nunca falei com a mulher que vive na casa vizinha. Who lives next door? Basically, this is an absent subject. We don't have the subject. We don't need the subject here, ok? É o que a gente chama de sujeito oculto. Né? A mulher que vive, a gente já sabe que está relacionado à mulher aqui, tá certo? Ok, nós já sabemos que nós estamos falando, né? Esse live aqui está relacionado à mulher ali, tá certo? Where's the cheese? It was in the fridge. Where's the cheese that was in the fridge? Então aqui, olha, o que acontece quando a gente transforma numa cláusula relativa? O sujeito, os pronomes pessoais, eles caem. É como se nós substituíssemos eles pelo who, that e pelo which. Alright? So what? The thing is that compare what and that. So what happened was my fault. Everything that happened was my fault. Not everything what happened. Então aqui é a mesma coisa. A gente não vai utilizar what happened was my fault or everything that happened was my fault. The machine that broke down is now working. not the machine what broke down. In the question we can say what machine broke down that is working now, ok? Então na pergunta a gente pode adicionar. Alright? Now let's go to the next page to see this these ideas right here that is more usual than which. Of course, sometimes you must use which. What does this mean, that I must? It means that you are obliged. Você é obrigado em algumas situações a utilizar o which, ok? E assim como também existem situações que você deve usar o who, alright? So let's skip to Unit 95 to take a look at these. So, there are two types of relative clauses in these examples. The relative clauses are underlined. So the type 1, the woman who lives next door is a doctor, right? Here we can use that. In these cases, we can use that. Grace works for a company that makes furniture. We stayed at a hotel. In this case, that is in between parentheses because it can be omitted, alright? Ou seja, ele pode ser omitido, não há necessidade de nós usarmos nenhuma das duas palavras aqui. We can say we stayed at a hotel you recommended, or we stayed at a hotel that you recommended. So in these examples, the relative clauses tell you which person or thing the speaker means, who, that, alright? And we do not use commas. What are commas? Commas são as vírgulas, okay? So we know a lot of people who live in London, okay? We don't use comma. Now, pay attention to these other examples right here. My brother, Ben, who lives in Hong Kong, is an architect. Anna told me about her new job, which she's enjoying a lot. We stayed at the Park Hotel, which a friend of ours recommended. Sai. Sai.
Desculpa, mamãe.
Então para.
Minha luzinha
Não.
vermelha.
Não.
Minha
Sorry,
luzinha-
guys.
Minha luzinha roxa.
Vai. Vai lá assistir Paw Patrol.
Pega minha luzinha.
Não, você tá me atrapalhando.
Não.
Ai, sorry, guys.
Pega minha
Quando a gente
luzinha
trabalha em casa e os filhos estão em casa, é assim que acontece.
Mamãe,
Say
pega
hi to everybody.
Pega minha luzinha
Não, não,
roxa.
não. Say only if you say hi.
Pega.
Only if you say hi. Come here, say hi. Say hi. Ok, então desce e vai pra lá. Just 1 second, guys. Sai daqui.
Não quero.
Vai pra lá.
Não quero. Eu não vou.
Sorry, guys. Perdão pela interrupção. Kids will be kids and she wants to be with me. So I apologize for the inconvenience. Sorry. So going back here, my brother Ben, who lives in Hong Kong, is an architect. So pay attention. Here we have commas. The relative clause, sorry, let me flip my screen for you guys on Instagram. So the relative clause here is in between commas, okay? So what does that mean? In these examples, the relative clause do not tell you which person or thing the speaker means. We already know which thing or person is meant. My brother Ben, Anna's new job, the Park Hotel. So the thing is already specified, while here it isn't really specified. We know the woman, but maybe there's another woman who lives next door. There isn't just one. Who knows? Oh, the woman who lives next door. Aquela mulher que mora ali do lado. Now here we're specifying my brother Ben, okay, who lives in Hong Kong, is an architect. Anna told me about her new job, which she's enjoying a lot. We stayed at Park Hotel, which a friend of ours recommended. So here we have the specification of what we're talking about. Therefore, the relative clause must come after a comma. All right? Here, we use commas with these clauses. My brother Ben, who lives in Hong Kong, is an architect. All right? So, in both types of relative clause, we use who for people and which for things. Okay, always. In both types, we're going to use who for people and which for things. But what's the difference? Here we can use who or we can use that. We can use which or we can use that. Over there, we can only use who for people and we can only use which for things. So John, who speaks French and Italian, works as a tour guide. Anna told me about her new job, which she's enjoying a lot. So in both cases here on type 2, because we have the specification of what we're talking about or who we're talking about, we have to use who and which. All right? You cannot leave out who or which. So in both types of relative clause, you can use whose and where. So we met some people whose car had broken down. What's the name of the place where you went on the holiday? Oh, it's the Park Hotel. Lisa, whose car broke down, was in a very bad mood. And Kate, who has just been to Sweden where her daughters live. So this over here, number C, we can leave it aside for the time being because it's a day for another, it's an explanation for another day, ok? Porque não existe somente who, which and that para cláusulas relativas, tá certo? Nós também temos o whose e o where e o whom, que isso fica um assunto para uma aula futura. E o que eu quero falar para vocês hoje, gente? Next week is Thanksgiving on Thursday. All right. So I want to invite you guys for a very special, very special live we'll have next week. Okay, if you don't know what Thanksgiving is, I'm sure you all know what Thanksgiving is. Thanksgiving is a very special day, especially for the Americans. Look at the mess my daughter made on the bed back there. So it's a very special day, especially for the Americans who celebrate the harvest. All right, hello, Eliane. Crianças são bênçãos. São sim, não acabou. Estamos no finalzinho. So Thanksgiving is a celebration of the harvest, right? So it's the beginning of fall. It marks basically, actually, it marks the end of fall and beginning of winter time. It's when all the people, they go in and harvest, so there's a lot of abundance. So it's a way of theirs saying thank you for all the good things that has happened in their lives. So every fourth Thursday of November, so there is not in a specific day, so every fourth Thursday of November they celebrate Thanksgiving, which precedes one of retail's biggest event of the year called Black Friday, ok? Então, gente, semana que vem a gente vai ter uma live especial, né, para comemorar o Thanksgiving e também para dar o nosso kickstart na nossa promoção de Black Friday, tá certo? Não percam, tá? Que nós temos assim, se você tá assim ainda na dúvida, ai, será que eu entro no Conversation Club? Será que eu não entro? Ai, será que eu compro o Practical Pronunciation do Tim? Ou será que eu vou pro Tim and Karen Flakes? Qual que é o melhor para mim? Se você não sabe qual dos três você quer, então não percam nossa live de quinta-feira que vem, onde nós teremos condições ultra mega especiais para vocês desfrutarem, tá certo? Além de estar aqui comigo celebrando o Dia de Ação de Graças, Thanksgiving Day, alright? E eu agradeço imensamente. I thank you all very much for your patience and kindness, for putting up with my daughter intrometendo. Ela tá numa fase de testar os limites ao máximo, que sabe aquela fase assim de você querer ser o Homer e o Bart, mas, né? Mas ao mesmo tempo ela benção maravilhosa, gostosa demais, who is learning to speak English beautifully. Alright? So, hope you guys enjoyed. E se vocês quiserem o material dessa aula, tá? Eu vou disponibilizar o material dessa aula com alguns exercícios para vocês praticarem essas relative clauses. Manda eu quero no nosso direct, que a Lu vai mandar o link para vocês entrarem no nosso grupo especial do WhatsApp, porque é lá onde nós vamos postar o material, tá certo? You guys, God bless you. You have a great night.